do certain things to get to a certain place. And I mean ethical things, not baby oil things, not crazy things. But we had to really believe in ourselves and do ethical things to be.
So he didn't reply. And, after that working for him, Puff, you think he the master.
Although the world knows Farnsworth Bentley as Diddy's former personal assistant who would walk around holding umbrellas, Farnsworth has dirt on his hands, too, that could turn his world upside down if he's exposed, according to a former Bad Boy associate.
You don't want to say anything against Puff anyway because Puff got shit on him. And I ain't talking about no true shit, none of that shit. The nigga was stealing, bro. Yo, bro. The niggas I don't want to put that on sticky fingers. That nigga right there, bro, don't lay nothing down around him.
All right, y'all, buckle up, because we need to talk about Diddy's umbrella man, aka Farnsworth Bentley, and why he'd been real quiet ever since the Diddy scandal went nuclear. See, Farnsworth didn't just hold umbrellas and look dapper. Rumors have been swirling for years that he played a very different role behind the scenes. And lately, between Cassie's court docs and testimony and shady comments about Farnsworth from insiders like Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal, those rumors are turning into a full-blown investigation by internet detectives. And now on top of all that, things are getting even spicier because MASE and Cameron just made some wild comments about Farnsworth on their podcast and basically hinted that Farnsworth might have been more than just Diddy's sidekick. So what really happened between Farnsworth and Diddy? Was he just a personal assistant with good taste? Or was he deep in the freak-off factory doing things we're not supposed to talk about? Let's break it all down.
I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got, talk to you like his bitch.
I think Farnsworth was his little girlfriend at one time, because you have to see how they was conducting themselves.
Ever since the whole Diddy scandal exploded, fans have been side-eyeing his old assistant Farnsworth Bentley and wondering what really went on behind the scenes between Farnsworth and Diddy. People in the industry have dropped little clues over the years that Farnsworth might have been doing a lot more than just holding umbrellas. And now MASE and Cameron have jumped in with some spicy talk that sounds like a joke on the surface. But if you've heard the rumors that Farnsworth was allegedly more like Diddy's concubine than his assistant, it hits different. On a recent episode of their podcast, MASE and Cam started cracking up over this male adult worker who testified in the Diddy case and went by the name Punisher. They were clowning on the nickname, but then Cam threw out a theory. What if Farnsworth also had a secret name for a reason, something in the same category as Punisher? And MASE didn't deny it. He just said, "You never know," with that look.
Watching the P. Diddy trial, and the Punisher came in there yesterday. Was he running around Bad Boy back in the days, murder? Ain't the Punisher? Who was the Punisher? Was he security inside back in the Who's the Punisher? The male prostitute?
Yeah, I never met him.
I ain't know if that was somebody changing their identity up. Bentley or what? Say you ain't Mr. Bentley no more, you the Punisher.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was super wild.
Yeah, you don't know niggas.
So now fans think MASE low-key confirmed what people have suspected for years. That Farnsworth saw, and maybe did, way more than he signed up for at Bad Boy. And this might explain why he disappeared from the spotlight and still hasn't said a word about Diddy's downfall.
His name ain't Busta Rhymes.
Who gave you the nickname?
Tony De Niro. Actually, Puff's.
Now here's a little backstory for you. Farnsworth Bentley didn't just randomly pop up. He showed up in Diddy's life right when Diddy really needed a makeover. Back in 2001, Diddy was still going by Puff Daddy at the time and had just dodged some serious legal trouble, including gun charges and bribery tied to a 1999 nightclub case. Diddy was acquitted, but the media frenzy was brutal and his image was a mess. So what did he do? Classic PR move, new name, and a whole new vibe. He rebranded as P. Diddy and decided to clean up his image. And that's when the paparazzi caught him in St. Tropez, walking around like royalty with this super polished guy next to him holding a white umbrella. That guy was Farnsworth Bentley. And just like that, Bentley became part of the Diddy rebrand. But fans have always wondered what else he might have been there for. That iconic photo of Farnsworth holding Diddy's umbrella had people buzzing. While folks thought it was funny, many others felt weird about it. They said Diddy was basically parading this man around like a servant, and it didn't sit right with everyone. Eventually, Farnsworth spoke up. He appeared on Angela Yee's radio show and decided to tell his side. Turns out, his real name is Derek Watkins, and the whole Farnsworth Bentley persona was something Diddy's team cooked up, specifically an associate named Tony Dyro. Farnsworth explained he had just moved from Atlanta to NYC and was hustling, trying to get his foot in the door. One night, he saw Diddy at a club and just shot his shot. At first, Diddy blew him off, but they ended up exchanging numbers. Farnsworth said he kept texting Diddy nonstop, practically begging for a chance to work for him.
Pager. Next thing you know, I just picked up the pager. You remember the guy that traveled from Howard University to intern with Andre Harrell? I'm that guy in 2001. Please don't make me go back to work on Monday at the restaurant. He replied, come to 1396 3rd Avenue. I literally started that day train.
Just like that, the Umbrella Man was born. But was he really just a stylish assistant? Or something more? Once Diddy officially brought Farnsworth on board, he started popping up on Diddy's MTV show Making the Band. And that's when things started to feel even weirder to a lot of people. The dynamic between them had fans raising eyebrows, because the whole thing went from stylish assistant to something that felt a little off. It seemed like Farnsworth was constantly being bossed around or low-key humiliated on camera. And here's where it gets extra suspicious. Try finding full episodes of Making the Band now. You basically can't. MTV hasn't released them on streaming. They don't air reruns, and it's like the shows just disappeared. That said, a few clips are still floating around online, and one of them shows Diddy literally threatening Farnsworth over phone.
Hey, what up? I went to sleep. When I woke up, the whole house was clean, just like I asked for it to be. But I got a note right here from Bam. She broke out and went to work. It's taking you entirely too long to tell the story. This is your problem, man. Good luck to you. When I get there, everything better be on point.
Fans who watched Making the Band back when it first aired still remember how weird things got between Diddy and Farnsworth. A lot of people say you could clearly see Diddy mistreating him on camera, barking orders, talking down to him, just overall bad vibes. And then there's the money part. Farnsworth told Angela Yee that Diddy was basically not paying him at first. He did try to walk that back a bit, saying Diddy wasn't paying him initially, but that once he started rising the ranks, he eventually got paid more. So now fans are wondering, did Farnsworth eventually start doing more than just holding Diddy's umbrella to earn that pay upgrade?
He's making really good money in the restaurant business.
That
actually.
good though? That's a
like $100,000. Yeah,
Shit.
that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that is pretty
For New
good.
York. Yeah.
And back then too.
It's 98. Like that's a lot of money.
Wow, I'd have stayed.
Yeah, 90, 100. Like I was doing well. So and
he wasn't paying that much.
Yeah, no way.
at all. Not initially, but you get
22.
you get your hustle.
Keep in mind, Farnsworth actually is down here in Atlanta. He's married with 2 kids. He just lives a quiet life.
Yeah, he should. He should. He ain't say nothing about me either. 'Cause he know I know his business.
But here's what makes things even more suspicious. On paper, Farnsworth's job title never officially changed. He was always listed as Diddy's assistant. And that's exactly why fans now believe he may have been doing far more behind closed doors, especially when it comes to arranging Diddy's so-called freak-off sessions. This theory gained major traction after Cassie's lawsuit came out. In her court filings, she claimed Diddy had assistants who would help coordinate encounters with male adult workers, even preparing hotel rooms with things like baby oil and Astroglide. Now it gets messier. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, recently said that Cassie's lawsuit had redacted portions, essentially hiding the really disturbing details. But that's not all. In another resurfaced interview, Gene flat out said that he knows all of Farnsworth Bentley's business. And the way he said it definitely raised a few eyebrows.
I don't know. I don't know how much he could do. I don't know if he would say anything because he probably signed the ND, a non-disclosure, and he don't want to say anything against Puff anyway because Puff got shit on him. And I ain't talking about no sexual shit, none of that shit. The nigga was stealing, bro. Yo, bro. The niggas I don't want to put that on sticky fingers. That nigga right there, bro. Don't lay nothing down around him. You heard me? Don't lay nothing down around dude right there. Dog, Jennifer Lopez had these boots, they cost $5,000. I'm like, what kind of fucking boots cost $5,000? Now you gotta realize, this is like in 2000, early 2000s. These boots cost $5,000. And because she was gonna be out of the country or something like that, she didn't have them come to her house down in the village because she would have never got it because they'd be stealing her stuff down there at her apartment. So she had them come to Puff house. She wanted these boots so bad, she was mad. They looked through everything trying to find Jennifer boots. Cause Puff had like Puff, people used to just give him shit and send him shit from everywhere. So he had this room, this mail room in his house with numbers that he never even opened. But I don't know how Farnsworth Bentley found that shit. But we went over there to his house and we found a lot of Jennifer shit and everybody else's shit that belonged to Puff. I guess Puff had too much stuff in the room and he was just keeping them for it.
And you seen this with your own eyes? That's crazy, man.
My own eyes, bro. We went to his apartment.
You don't even seem like that type of dude, yo, but damn.
Security also, we went over there, man. They had to do shit, bro. And that's why Puff had stopped messing with him. And then he goes get a show. Puff ain't say nothing. He went and got a show of how to be teaching thugs how to be a gentleman. I hope the first thing he taught them was that don't.
And then Gene dropped another bombshell. During a recent episode of The Art of Dialogue, he suggested we shouldn't expect to see Farnsworth testifying in court anytime soon. Why? Because, allegedly, back in the day, Farnsworth was involved in some shady business, including stealing from Diddy. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Over the years, there have been constant whispers that Farnsworth might have been playing the same kind of role for Diddy that Punisher did later on, meaning he was a paid adult worker brought in for freak-off encounters. And here's where it takes a darker turn. Remember that old rumor about Diddy allegedly breaking Kim Porter's nose during a fight on a yacht? Well, according to Gene Deal, that fight happened because Kim caught Diddy with another man, and the timeline matches up suspiciously with when Farnsworth was still around.
My nose broken on that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it caused.
We know that incident happened in 2005, and there's even an article from August 2005 reporting Kim was left with a broken nose after an argument with Diddy on a yacht in St. Tropez. And guess what? At that time, Farnsworth was still traveling with Diddy, often accompanying him to luxurious getaways like that. So naturally, fans have started speculating that Kim might have actually caught Diddy with Farnsworth himself during one of those infamous FO sessions. But here's the twist. Around the same time, Farnsworth started pivoting toward music. It was actually Kanye West who gave him his first real industry break. Farnsworth started showing up in Outkast music videos, and even made a cameo in Kanye's The New Workout Plan. Fast forward to 2013, and Kanye invited Farnsworth to work on the Yeezus album, giving him songwriting credits. He later helped produce Ultralight Beam on Kanye's 2016 album, The Life of Pablo. But all the while, there were rumors Farnsworth was stealing from Diddy behind the scenes. Eventually, their friendship soured, and that marked the end of Farnsworth's time in Diddy's inner circle. After all that drama, Farnsworth moved back to Atlanta, got married to a woman named Fawn Chambers, and started a family. But some insiders have hinted there's a specific reason he chose Atlanta to settle down. And if you know, you know. Since then, Farnsworth has stayed mostly silent about anything related to Diddy. Fans assumed he'd never speak out, until rumors surfaced last year that Farnsworth might be working on a tell-all book. In February 2024, Media Takeout reported that Farnsworth could finally be ready to tell his side of the story. Not long after that, he posted something cryptic on Instagram, quoting Jay-Z's Grammy speech. "When I get nervous, I tell the truth. And in the caption, he added, "Might delete later, but I'ma just sit this here." But here's the thing. That post came before the Diddy case turned into a full-blown federal investigation and before Homeland Security raided Diddy's properties. Once that happened, Farnsworth went totally silent again. Not a single public word since. So now we want to know what you think. Is Farnsworth Bentley keeping quiet because of those old theft allegations that Gene Deal mentioned? Or is it something way deeper? Like maybe Farnsworth knows he could be caught on one of those tapes the feds seized from Diddy's home? Drop your theories in the comments, and don't miss the next video.